Ethan Vance lived life in the fast lane, literally and figuratively. As the mind behind a multi-billion-dollar tech empire, his world was a blur of boardrooms, private jets, and ruthless acquisitions. That was a currency he didn't trade in? He was a king in a castle of code and capital, but the throne was a lonely one. One Tuesday, that sterile world was set to shatter. As he walked toward his sleek, custom-built sports car, the city hummed around him, oblivious. Ethan's mind was already in a meeting 3 time zones away. A little girl no older than 7, with bright, curious eyes and a missing front tooth, held up a small, silver cup. It was his father's, the one piece of sentiment he allowed himself. He barely glanced at her, annoyed by the interruption. "My mommy says you should always return what's not yours." Her brow furrowed in concentration. "And besides," she added, pointing a tiny finger just below the driver's side door, "what's that little blinking light for?" Ethan froze. Now, a tiny, blinking red light under his car door mocked his arrogance. He stared from the light to the girl, Lily. In that split second, the world slowed down. He saw not an interruption, but a child who'd just saved his life. He scooped her up and ran, shouting at his security detail, turning his prized car into a twisted inferno of metal and flame. Ethan felt something he hadn't in years. Sheer, unadulterated terror, followed by overwhelming gratitude. The incident was a brutal awakening. It was a symbol of a life he'd forgotten how to live. He found out Lily and her mother, a single parent working 2 jobs, were struggling to make ends meet in a city he practically owned. It was a stark contrast to his own opulent existence. For the first time, Ethan Vance made a decision that wasn't about profit margins. He didn't just write a check. He got involved. He set up a trust for Lily's education, ensuring she'd have every opportunity he had, and more. He helped her mother find a better job with one of his companies, one that allowed her to be home for dinner every night. He started visiting them, not as a benefactor, but as a friend. He learned about scraped knees, school plays, and the simple joy of sharing a pizza on a Friday night. His employees saw a new leader, one who spoke of community and compassion, not just market dominance. He realized that his greatest invention wasn't a piece of software or a new device. It was the ability to change lives. The little girl who saved him from a bomb had also saved him from himself, dismantling the walls around his heart and showing him that true wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in the connections we make. He was still a billionaire, but now he was rich in a way that truly mattered. Thanks for watching.